So in this video, we are going to go over your academic math test 1-1. After you have completed this and corrected your mistakes on your test, you may request to retest. Number 1, the list shows the number of licenses issued every year to lobster boats in Massachusetts for a 5-year period. What is the range of the data? So the range should be the distance between the greatest and the least number. The distance between the greatest and the least. So first I notice these are not in order from least to greatest. So I'm going to take care of that first. So 529, 530, then 534, 551, and 554. And I want the distance between the greatest and the least number. So between 554 and 529. So I'm going to find the distance by subtracting. So my distance is 25, so that means my range is 25. Number 2, the dot plot shows the wing lengths in millimeters for 10 birds. Which statement is supported by the data in the dot plot? So we have more than half the birds have wing lengths of less than 50 millimeters. So in order to know if more than half have wing lengths of less than 50, well, here's 50, so we're talking about this part of my graph. First, I need to know how many birds there are total. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this side. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side. So it says more than half of the birds have wing lengths of less than 50 millimeters. So if more than half do, that means F is my answer, because it is true that 6 is more than 4. Number 3, students recorded the amount of liquid and fluid ounces each of them drank in one day. The box plot shows the summary of the results. Which statement best describes the data represented in the box plot? Half the students drank from 78 to 114. So if I want to know if half drank from 78, we're looking halfway. Well, I know in a box plot that this is my halfway point. So we should be talking about this part of my graph. And I want to know, does this look about from 78 to 114? Well, I can see it's somewhere between 72 and 84, so it is realistic that it'd be about 78. And I can see this is from 108 to 120, so it seems realistic to that would be 114. But I'm going to keep reading. The greatest number of students drank from 30 to 78 fluid ounces. So here would be about 30. And 78 would go here, and it wants to know if that would be the greatest number of students. But we know that my data really should be clustered, is actually clustered more within over here. Half of it's over here and half of it's over here. So really, we can't really tell that, and actually it's kind of divided in half. So we're going to get rid of B. That's not my answer. The data represents 78 student responses. We can't see how many responses there are from a box plot. It's just a summary of our data. The mean number of fluid ounces that the student drank is 78. Again, we can't see all of our responses and all of our data, so we can't really calculate the mean. I can calculate the median, and my median is 78, but my mean is not. So D can't be my answer. So my only answer left is still A, which confirms what we saw before. Number 4, the dot plot shows the links of the 12 trailers sold at a store last month. Which statement about the data is true? The interquartile range is 7 and the range is 17. The interquartile range is 7 and the range is 11. So we're looking at our interquartile range and range. So let's start with our range, going from 6, my least number in my data, to my greatest number, 17. I'm going to find that difference, 17 minus 6, which is going to give me 11. So my range is 11, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of H and F. Now I need to find my interquartile range. So I'm not sure if there's another shortcut for this, because but I prefer to go ahead and put my data in order here. So I'm writing out all my data, 6, 6, 6, 6, 9 and 9, and I have 4 13s and 2 17s. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking about how we're going to build our box plot. Okay, so I'm going to kind of think here. So I want my median first. Let's find out median. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 12 numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 take care of the bottom half. These 6 take care of the top half. Okay. And we got to find that median. So from 9 to 13, I need to find the number between those. So I'm going to subtract them, or I'm sorry, add them. I get 22 and divide it by 2, which gives me 11. Okay, so I have my median. So I'm going to kind of build my box plot here. So I know I have a median here. I know that it's going to go from 6 all the way to 17. Okay, so now I need my median of my lower half of data. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want the median. My median would be right here between 6 and 6. So it happens to be 6. And then my median here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is between 13 and 13. So it happens to be 13. So there's the other part of my box. So my box looks like this. It goes out to here. Okay. So now I need my interquartile range. So we're looking from 6 right here, from 6 to 13. Let's switch colors for us, from 6 to 13. So 13 minus 6, that's going to give me 7. So my answer would be G. Number 5. A choir director made a histogram showing the ages of the members of the choir. Which statement about the data in the histogram must be true? More than half of the members are from 46 to 73. Okay, so first let's find out how many we have going on here. So we've got 15, 20, 5, 10, 30, 5, and 15. So let's find out how many we have total. I'm going to add all of these together. Okay, so when I add them all together, I get a 100. So from 46 to 73, we're just looking at this part of my graph. So 30, 5, and 15. Which gives me 50. It says more than half. Well, 50 is exactly half of 100. So A is not my answer. There are more men than women in the choir. This has nothing about men and women, so that we don't know if it's a man or if it's a woman. The choir has a total of 100 members. Well, we added them all together and we did get 100, so it seems like C might be the answer. Exactly 20 members are less than 32 years old. Well, less than 32 would include this 15 and this 20. Well, that would actually be 35. So that cannot be correct. So my only answer is C. Number 6, the stem and leaf plot shows the percentage of questions on a Spanish test that were answered correctly by each student in a class. Which statement is true? 9 students answered 55% of the questions correctly. So let's find where 55% is. And actually, if I look here, I can't find 55%. I have 70, 75, 80, and 85, 90, and 95, and 10, or I'm sorry, 10 and 0, which would make 100%. But I don't have, if I had 55, it would look something like this, 5, and then I'd have a 5 over here. Okay, so there is actually no 55. So F is not my answer. Half the students answered 70 or 75. Well, we have 3 students that answered 70 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 students that answered 75. So we have 8 students that answered 70 or 75. And we have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 students total. So 8 is not quite half of 19. So G is not right. 8 students answered more than 80%. So here's 80%. So more than 80%. More than would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 students answered more than 80%. So H is my answer. Number 7, the list shows the numbers of employees in the 9 departments at a company. What is the range of the numbers of employees in these departments? So my range is the distance between my least number and my greatest. These are not in order, so we want to put them in order. So I've got 3, then 6, and then 14, then 17, then 23, then 2 26s, oops, and a 30 and 54. Okay, I want the distance between this number and this number, so I'll do 54 minus 3, and I should get 51, so my range is B. Number 8, the table shows the number of hours of study in a week by members of an academic competition team. The box and whisker plot displays the information about the hours of study. What is the most hours of study completed by a team member? The most hours of study would be this top number here, which is 20. Number 9, the table shows the number of photocopies made during one day at each of the 25 schools in a school district. Which histogram displays all the data in the table correctly? Okay, so if I look at my histograms down below, I notice that the first one goes from 800 to 899. So first I'm going to look at all my numbers that are from 800 to 899. And I notice that there's 3. So I notice that A can't be my choice because it's at 5. And D can't be my choice because it's at 2. Okay? So then my next range is 900 to 999. So I'm looking at these 2 all the way here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from 900 to 999. So I can see we've got 5 here. We've got 5 here. Okay. Then my next one would be from 1,000 to 1,099. So I'm looking here, all the way here, and all the way here. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1,000 to 1,099. This one you see only goes to 7, but this one goes to 8. So C would be my answer. Number 10, the list shows the growth in centimeters of 12 plants during 1 week. Which box plot best represents a summary of these data? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is find the one with my correct range, 6 to 14. So I can see F and G and H and J all have that. My next thing to find is my median. So I'm going to kind of divide my data in half here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Told me here 12 plants. So I'm going to have 6 down here, 6 down here. Okay. So my median is going to be right here in the middle between 8 and 9. So my median should be 8.5. So I'm going to look for one that represents my median at 8.5. F does not. My median here is at 9. G is okay. It's at 8.5. H is okay. It's at 8.5, but J is not. It's at 9. Okay, so we're down to G or H. So my next piece is to find the median of my lower data. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to divide this one in half. We've got 6, 7, 7, and 8, 8, 8. And I want to find the middle between 7 and 8, which would be 7.5. Okay. So I can see G is at 8. It's not at 7.5. But H is at 7.5. So H is my answer. Number 11, the dot plot shows the number of touchdowns a football team scored in 10 games last season. Which statement best describes the data shown in the dot plot? Okay, the peak of the data is at 5. So if you think about a peak is about a mountain, meaning it has to go up and back down. So at 5, we've already gone back down. There's no more data. There's nothing more to do. So that is not the peak of, that is not my answer, A. Get rid of A. Data are clustered from 0 to 2, meaning my data is it's not spread out there. It's all close together. And that makes sense so far. It does look like it's close together, but we're going to read through C and D. The data distribution has no gaps, meaning there's no space in between any numbers. But we see there's a large space between 2 and 5. Okay, so there is gaps. So we're going to get rid of C. The data distribution is symmetrical, meaning it looks the same on the left as it does on the right. I could cut it in half and it would look the same like a mirror. I can't cut this in half. So that cannot be my answer. It is not symmetrical. B is my answer. Number 12, which data most likely have variability for one school during a single school year? So variability, I'm thinking about, it changes a lot. Okay, the number of students absent each day. So my question is, does that change a lot? It does change a lot. We don't know how many students are going to be absent each day. There might be a lot absent. Most of the time, there's a lot more absent on Friday than there is like on Wednesday. So there's lots of factors for that. So it does change a lot. G, the amount of time for a lunch period each day. You get 30 minutes for lunch every day. That rarely changes. There's not going to be a lot of change in that. The library fee for the first day a book is overdue. When you have a fee for a library fee, that fee never changes. The cost of a slice of cheese pizza each day, that's not going to change a lot. Your pizza is generally going to stay the same price. So the only one that really changes is F. Number 13, the list below shows the number of rides at 9 different rodeos. What is the median number of rides at the rodeos? So notice that it's not in order from least to greatest. So I'm going to take care of that first. So I have 2, then 3, then 4, and 6, and 7, and then 21. Oh, I'm sorry, 28. Then 71, then 81, and then 221. And I want the median, so I'm looking for that middle value. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if I kind of cut this in half, I have 4 over here. 28 becomes my median. Uh-oh, I wonder if I missed one. All right, let's start that one over. This is my last question, and I guess I messed it up. So let me make sure I did this correctly. Okay. What is the median numbers of rides in a rodeo? We're going to list from least to greatest. So I have 2, then 4, then 6. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm messing up like crazy now. 3, and then 6, then 7, then 28, then 71, 81, and 221. Okay, so we have 9 numbers. So 4 on this side and 4 on this side. So 7 would be my middle number. There we go.